Imagine waking up in a world where nobody assumed anything without evidence. A world where ideas, beliefs, and truths were all tested, challenged, and refined. That world isn't a fantasy, it's what atheism encourages. But despite how simple it is, atheism is one of the most misunderstood concepts out there. Some think it's a religion, others call it a belief system, and some even claim it's just a rejection of morality. None of these are true. So, what is atheism really? And why do so many people misunderstand it? Let's break it down. At its core, atheism is simply the lack of belief in gods. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not a belief system, a philosophy, or an ideology. It doesn't tell people how to live, what to think, or what to value. It's simply the absence of theistic belief. Let's put it this way. If someone claims that a God exists, the burden of proof is on them to provide evidence. An atheist simply says, "I don't see any convincing evidence, so I don't believe." It's no different from not believing in unicorns, ghosts, or Bigfoot due to lack of evidence. It's not a claim that gods don't exist, just a refusal to accept unproven claims. One of the biggest misconceptions about atheism is that it's just another religion. But think about it. If atheism is a religion, then not collecting stamps is a hobby. Atheism has no sacred texts, no rituals, no commandments, and no central authority. It's simply the default position in the absence of evidence. Another common myth is that atheists are arrogant for rejecting religion. But ask yourself, is it arrogance to expect evidence for a claim? If someone told you they could fly but never demonstrated it, would it be arrogant to doubt them? Of course not. Skepticism isn't arrogance, it's intellectual honesty. So why do people become atheists? There isn't one universal answer. For some, it's a gradual realization that religious claims don't hold up to scrutiny. For others, it's exposure to scientific discoveries that explain the world without invoking the supernatural. Some people were raised without religion, while others left it behind after asking difficult questions. Let's talk numbers. According to a 2021 Pew Research study, nearly 30% of Americans identify as religiously unaffiliated, a number that has been steadily rising. In Europe, that number is even higher. In countries like Sweden, the Netherlands, and the Czech Republic, the majority of people are non-religious. Globally, as access to education increases, religious belief tends to decline. This trend suggests that when people are exposed to more information and critical thinking, they often find religious explanations unnecessary. One of the most persistent accusations against atheism is that it leads to immorality. Without God, they say, there's no reason to be good. But is that true? Let's look at the evidence. Countries with high levels of atheism, like Sweden, Denmark, and Japan, consistently rank among the most peaceful, happiest, and most socially responsible nations in the world. Meanwhile, some of the most religious countries struggle with crime, corruption, and violence. If religion were necessary for morality, we'd expect the opposite. The reality is that morality isn't dictated by religion. It's built into us through evolution and social cooperation. We help others not because we fear divine punishment, but because empathy and kindness create better societies. Studies have shown that even infants display moral behavior before they can speak, long before they can understand religious teachings. A common argument for religion is that it gives people meaning. Without belief in God, they ask, what's the point of life? But this question assumes that meaning must be given to us rather than created by us. For an atheist, meaning isn't handed down from a divine being, it's something we create for ourselves. Love, relationships, passion, curiosity, these things give life meaning. The knowledge that we have one life, one shot at existence, makes it even more valuable. We don't live for an afterlife. We live for the here and now. Think of all the things that make life worth living. Exploring new places, making art, falling in love, learning something new. These experiences are meaningful because we create meaning, not because a higher power dictates it. One of the most fascinating aspects of atheism is the way it allows us to appreciate the universe without supernatural explanations. Instead of seeing the world as the work of an unseen deity, we see it as the product of natural forces over billions of years. And the real story of our universe is far more incredible than any religious text. Consider this. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a dying star billions of years ago. That means you, right now, are literally made of stardust. That's not a poetic metaphor. It's a scientific fact. Isn't that more awe-inspiring than any ancient myth? Atheism isn't about rejecting something. It's about embracing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. It's about being open to evidence, questioning assumptions, and constantly refining our understanding of the world. It doesn't claim to have all the answers, but it encourages us to keep asking questions. So the next time someone asks what atheism is, tell them, it's not a religion, not a belief system, and not a rebellion. It's just a refusal to accept claims without evidence. It's the freedom to think critically, to explore, and to seek truth, wherever it may lead. Because in the end, reality with all its complexity and wonder is enough. What do you think? Have you ever questioned your beliefs? Do you have your own story about leaving religion behind? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking